I'm Rick from knicenclean.com. Today we'll be making cold processed bar soap from sodium-based biodiesel glycerin. I will be using a Knice-N-Clean soap kit available at knicenclean.com, but you could use your own ingredients and glycerin if you like. The recipe for this kit came from our book, Making Biodiesel Glycerin Soaps, also available at knicenclean.com. The Knice-N-Clean soap kit comes with sodium hydroxide, commonly known as lye, gloves and goggles for mixing your caustic solution, a thermometer for checking the temperature of your soap, liner material for your soap mold, fatty acids to add hardness and lather to your soap, and sodium-based biodiesel glycerin. In addition to the Knice-N-Clean soap kit, you're going to need a 3 to 5 gallon container to mix your soap in, a container to mix your caustic solution in, utensils for mixing your soap and your caustic solution, an immersion blender. This will greatly speed saponification and shorten your time in making soap. A knife or slab cutter for cutting your slab of soap, and a knife or bar cutter for cutting your soap into bars. Just a note about utensils and equipment. Aluminum should never be used when making soap as it will react with the caustic solution. I like to use stainless steel or glass. Plastic works too. Wood utensils are okay, but they degrade over time. Okay, let's go make some soap. Start by placing your glycerin in your soap making container. I like to use stainless steel, however never use an aluminum container. Slowly heat your glycerin at medium heat until it reaches about 170 degrees. Once your glycerin has been heated to 170 to 180 degrees, it's time to pour in the fatty acids. Mix in your fatty acids and allow them to melt. Now that your fatty acids have melted into the glycerin, you can turn off the heat. It's time to add the lye solution. Now we're going to mix the lye solution. You want to make sure you're wearing your rubber gloves and your goggles and that you have vinegar on hand in case you happen to have an accident with the lye solution. Always use distilled water and never ever use an aluminum container. Always pour the lye into the water and not the other way around. Stir constantly while pouring the lye into your distilled water. Try not to breathe the steam from the lye solution as you stir the lye. Mix until the lye is fully dissolved. Slowly pour the lye into your glycerin while mixing. You can keep stirring, but I like to use a stick blender, which speeds saponification. You're going to keep mixing until you notice trace. We're using fatty acids, so trace occurs fairly quickly. Trace can occur anywhere from a minute to 15 minutes. Trace is indicated by a thickening of the soap. You can see a line of soap remains on top of the soap and slowly goes back into the soap. This is light trace. Once your soap is traced, you can scent your soap. I will be using 3 ounces of scent for this batch of soap. Slowly pour the scent in, incorporating it into your soap. Now that you have added the scent to your soap, you can now pour the soap. Pour the soap slowly and evenly into the box. The soap should start to harden in anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, but overnight is always best. Now that the soap is hardened, you can cut it into bars. I like to trace a grid on a slab of soap. This lets you keep each bar about the same size. It works best to first cut them into logs and then into bars. Now you can cut the logs into bars. By now you should have 48 to 52 bars of soap. The soap needs to cure for 2 to 4 weeks. During this time the soap will fully saponify and harden as the extra water evaporates. You should not use the soap during the curing period as it may be caustic enough to cause injury. Before using the soap, you should check to make sure the soap is not caustic hot. The soap should have a pH of less than 10. You can check the soap's pH with pH paper, a pH meter, or you can also use the battery test. The battery test is a simple test. You simply touch the soap to your tongue. If it bites like a 9-volt battery, then the soap is still caustic hot. This is also referred as the zap test. The battery test is performed as follows. If you have no bite, then the soap is fully cured and ready to use. If you'd like to learn more about making soap from biodiesel glycerin, please check out our book, Making Biodiesel Glycerin Soaps, available at knicenclean.com. Thank you for watching and happy soaping.